Okay, hi everyone. Hi, I'm just making sure everything is working before I actually start today's session. Testing, testing. Okay, seems like everything is working fine. I did start like a bit earlier than I should have, so I'll officially start in 5 minutes. Okay, hi everyone. Hi. I see people joining already. I'm gonna officially start in like 3 minutes. Just hold on, I want to start on the dot today. I just started a little earlier just to make sure everything was working fine. Okay, hi everyone. It's 3:30. We are on schedule to start right now. Hi everyone. Welcome to today's webinar brought to you by IC Markets. We are doing a live analysis session. What this means is that I will be going into the live charts later on and I will show you how I do my analysis. Okay, please do not take this as a signal to buy or sell. I'm not giving you any signals to buy or sell. This is not any form of investment advice, okay? Today's the 17th of December. We are coming to the end of the year. Yeah, hopefully we find something. I mean, I find something. Can you guys just say hi to me in the chat box so that I know that everything's okay? You guys can hear me loud and clear. If you can see my screen, just let me know in the chat box. Okay, thank you, FF93 Fu. Yeah. So you guys already know how this works. I do need to do the disclaimer. I'm gonna stay here for a minute or two so you guys can read through it. But basically, it's a reminder that this webinar is purely educational and should not be construed as trading advice. So Guys, I think you guys should be good with the disclaimer. Um, let's continue with today's session. Okay, let's do the introduction to your host. So my name is Cassandra. If you guys don't already know me, you can call me Cass. I am an investment analyst and a prop trader. So I'm based in Singapore. I'm with this research firm called Everest Fortune Group. We are a research firm that are based in Singapore. What we do here is basically a lot of backtesting, forecasting, a lot of research, and understanding the markets as a whole. Um, we basically just study the markets a lot. Okay, yeah. Because we spend so much time on the markets, I am a prop trader as well. For those who don't know what prop trading means, it means that I am funded by multiple companies. Okay, so how do I get this funding? I have consistently done 10% profit within a month to get this funding by passing their tests. How did I do that? I combined technical analysis with fundamental analysis. Well, mostly technical analysis, but now that I've recently started combining fundamental analysis as well so that my trades become higher probability. So you guys are in good hands. If you guys have any questions, anything at all you want to ask me regarding trading, please just ask me in the chat box. So our agenda for today is to go through the key approaches, the cheat sheet checklist, and the live charts. Okay, so this is the cheat sheet checklist that I usually use. Let me go through it. Let me help you understand how to use it. I use this every single time I'm looking for an analysis. So I'm going to once again remind you guys, whatever I share in this webinar should not be construed as any form of trading advice, investment advice, or any signal to buy or sell. Okay, it is for you guys to see how another trader would do the analysis from a different point of view. Okay, so I am just sharing my analysis and my trading style with you guys from my point of view. Please do not copy it blindly. Please take it as a learning opportunity to combine it with your own style of trading. Okay, so first of all, as a trader, I need to look for trend. So it's either an uptrend or a downtrend. Okay, so if it's an uptrend, we would need to look for a buy. And if it's a downtrend, we would need to look for a sell. Okay, when I say we, I mean me. Okay, it's for me. So if price is moving in an uptrend, I will look for a buy. If price is moving in a downtrend, I will look for a sell. So how do I identify whether it's an uptrend or downtrend? I use trend lines or channels. So for trend lines, we've got 3 minimal touches that needs to be done during whether it's at the support or the resistance area. Okay, so 3 significant touches, and then we need a channel. So 4 touches, 2 on the top, 2 at the bottom. That means 2 on the resistance area and 2 at the support area. Okay, so once that is done, I kind of have a rough idea of where price is moving. I then have a rough idea if whether I'm getting in or buy or sell. So because now I already know if I'm getting in or buy or sell, I can now decide if where I want to enter for the buy, the sell, or where I'm going to put my stop loss and where I'm going to put my take profit. So how do I do that? I use horizontal levels. Okay, so pullbacks, overlaps, significant swing highs, and significant swing lows. Other things that I will use are Fibonacci levels. Okay, Fibonacci levels. And if I'm done with this, I will already have a rough idea of what I'm going to do. I already have a rough idea of where my entry is going to be, where my stop loss is going to be, and where my take profit is going to be. So then how do I make my trades more profitable or more probable? Okay, to make my trades more probable, I now then pull out some chart patterns. So the chart patterns can be anything. It can be wedges, triangle, double tops, double bottom, head and shoulder, teacup. Okay, these are just examples. Okay, if you see any chart patterns that will help your analysis become more higher probability, then definitely use it, because then it will help you in your decision making. Okay, so once I'm done with that, other things I can do other than chart patterns and basically just anything on the charts is to use indicators. So with indicators, you're looking for death or golden crosses. Okay, this again, there are many indicators out there. There are hundreds of indicators out there. I am basically showing you the ones that I use. So with moving average, death or golden crosses, what it means is that you pull out the moving average, you pull out two moving averages, and then one you change the settings to 200, and one I will change the settings to 50. So I've got two moving averages. If the 50 is moving above the 200, it is a signal of bullishness. If the 50 is moving below the 200, it is a signal of bearishness. Okay, so once that is done, I can consider to use natural moving average as well. So natural moving average is basically pulling out the moving average and letting it flow with the price. So it needs to have, you're basically using the moving average as a form of support and resistance, like you would with a trend line. Okay, so what settings do you put for that? You need to adjust the settings according to the pair that you are looking at. So different pair would require different settings at different times as well, and at different time frames as well, because the price is constantly changing and moving, right? Price is constantly changing and moving, so you would need to keep adjusting your settings to fit the price. So once that is done, I will then pull out stochastics and RSI to see if there are any bounces or reactions and if there are any divergences. Okay, so bounces and reactions, I'm using stochastics and RSI to look for support and resistance, and then with stochastics and RSI to look for divergences. So once that is done, I will look for correlations. So when I say correlations, I'm saying using two different, there are few examples of correlation. So the first one is where you're using any strongly correlated currency pairs that are supporting your buyers. So for example, if I am trading EUR, USD, okay, and price is moving up for EUR USD, I have a bias that I want to get in for a buy for EUR USD. It means that I also have a bias that DXY should be going down. Okay, why DXY? Because DXY is the US dollar index. Okay, DXY is the US dollar index. That means if EUR goes up, DXY will go down. Okay, and USD will go down. Okay, if I want to short the EUR USD, that means I am expecting DXY or the US dollar to go up. Okay, that is an example of correlations. So the next example would be using currency pairs with commodities. Any strongly correlated asset class supporting or against your bias. So an example of this would be the Canadian dollars and oil. Why Canadian dollars and oil? Because Canada is such a big producer of oil. Therefore, it's kind of tied, the currency is kind of tied to the prices of oil. If the prices of oil goes up, usually the prices of the Canadian dollars will go up as well. If the prices of oil go down, usually the prices of the Canadian dollars will go down as well. So the next thing will be correlations. We've got an example here, which is AUD USD and NZD USD. Usually if Australian dollars moves up, the New Zealand dollars will move up as well. If Australian dollars move down, the New Zealand dollars will move down as well. So once I'm done with all of this, I will then decide if I'm going for a reversal or a breakout. Okay, so this is basically the cheat sheet that I use to look for my analysis. Yeah, so thanks for sitting through that. Let me pull out TradingView so that we can go through the analysis together. Okay, so this is EURUSD. Let's pick three charts that we're gonna do analysis on. So I've got EURUSD, ETHUSD, and XAUUSD. Okay, so let's see what these three analysis has for us. I do want to do a recap of what happened last week because I am doing these analysis with you guys every week. So every single week, right? I do it, and then the following week we can do a review of how the trade or the setup performed the week before. Okay, so let's start with XAUUSD and ETHUSD. I do remember doing this, but I don't see any side notes, so let's see what the idea was of this was. So the idea I think here was that to get in for a buy. I mean, if we're talking about last week, I did the webinar for you guys last week on a Wednesday, right? Yeah, it was last Wednesday. So around here, I did say that if price breaks out here, so last Wednesday around here, I said when price breaks out here, this is where I will consider getting in for an entry. But I did say that I wanted price to go break out first and then come back to do the pullback before going up. But in this case, it looks like price didn't come back to do that pullback. Okay, so let's see if this entry is still valid. I mean, if you got in at the breakout, then you would be in profit, but give me a moment to clear up everything to see what's going on here. Okay. This is what happens last week. I said if price breaks out, it did break out, but I mean, I did expect a pullback. It did pull back, it just didn't reach the entry. It pulled back, but it didn't reach the entry. So my question now is it still going to pull back first, or is this the pullback here and then it's going to continue up? Okay, so let's see what we have here and if the bias for gold is still a buy. I mean, if we go to any time frame for gold, you will obviously see price going up, right? It's never a time where price is not going up for gold. The question is it going to go up now or does it want to do a pullback first before continuing up? So let's see what's happening with gold. Okay, I think what's going to happen now is that I might not want to test for that highest high here because we can see here that there was resistance, right? We can see that price was having a hard time breaking here. It came here one time, rejected, a second time rejected. So I think instead of aiming for the next swing high, what I'm going to do rather is aim for this swing high, okay, where the current price is right now. Okay, where this price is right now. So that means I'm still entering for a buy. This is going to be my take profit. The question now is where do I enter for a buy? Where do I enter for a buy? I think this is a really... There's two things that could happen right now. The first thing is that price already pulled back to test this zone. Okay, price already pulled back to test this zone. Or it's going to come back and retest this zone again. Give me a moment to pull out some Fibonacci levels. The more Fibonacci levels lining up in the same spot, the more likely it is that price will go back to that area. Okay, so we've got the 38.2 and the 50% lining up in one area. 1, 2, 3. Let me see if I can pull more areas out. So far I see levels here. See the green and the blue, those are the levels that I'm seeing right now. I'm just trying to see if there's more levels that I can find. You guys have to give me a moment. I just need to figure out the structure of the charts for a bit. I guess. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of this 100%. I basically think price will pull back. Okay. This is a level of support. I think if price does come back, I cannot confirm that it's going to come back, but if the price decides to come back, this green box is a good zone of testing. Okay, this green box is a good zone where price will test. Okay, so once price tests this green box, I think there's a good chance it will want to go back to that swing high. Okay, so my best bet for this is, yeah, I mean, it's definitely still an uptrend. Let me see if I can pull out some. Sorry, I was supposed to pull out the trend line way before I started the analysis. Yeah, I think that green box should be okay, honestly. This green box should be an okay area to put my entry for the buy. Okay, so again, what I'm saying is I still agree on the buy. It's just that where is price going to pull back to for me to enter the buy? Okay, where is price going to pull back to for me to enter the buy? So I think for now, this green box looks pretty promising. Stochastics, RSI. Nope, not really giving me information. Not really giving me information. Let's see what Ichimoku is saying. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm okay with this green box. Like for me, if price does pull back and it comes anywhere near this green box, I will consider getting in for a buy. Okay, that's me personally. My stop loss is obviously going to be below the green box because if price pulls back, I'm expecting it to pull back only to the green box and not further beyond that green box. Okay, so I'm going to put it slightly below. My take profit is going to be way back at that swing high. Obviously, we don't aim for the highest high, but I think this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so let me see the risk to reward. Looks like a 1 to 2.5, I think. Yeah, it is a 1 to 2.5. Okay, it is a 1 to 2.5. So we've got, I'm happy with this analysis, honestly. If price really pulls back to this area, I think I would be happy to get in. Okay, I think I would be happy to get in. So yeah, that's my first analysis. If you guys have any requests at all for any pair you want me to look at, let me know in the chat box. I'll do the analysis. If it's a pair that I don't usually do my analysis on, I'll just let you guys know that um, I'm still going to do my analysis, but I'll let you guys know whatever comments I have for that particular pair. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, cool. So that's that. I'm gonna move on to the next pair that we have. Hi, thanks. Thanks, John. Okay, I think I'm happy with this goal analysis, honestly. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see next week if it works out. We'll see. We'll give it time to pull back. If it pulls back, that'll be great. If it doesn't pull back and it just price just continues up from here, that's okay also because we cannot force price to do what we want it to do. Okay, so our job, your job and my job as a trader and my job as an analyst is basically to kind of forecast what I think the next move is going to be, but you don't take it personally if it doesn't work out. Okay, don't take it personally. Okay, I'm gonna move to the next one. So we did this, I mean, I did this last week. I keep saying we, but it's me. Okay, guys, it's I don't want you guys to think that you are here to copy my trades. You are not here to copy my trades. Okay, you are here to learn and to observe and see how another trader would usually do their analysis. And this is exactly how I would do my analysis. You guys see me every single week. I was on a winning streak for a while, and then I had losses, and then I win again and I had losses. I'm very transparent with you guys. This is literally the trades that I take. Okay, if I'm going to take a trade, I will tell you guys. So this XAU USD is something that I will consider if price pulls back here. Okay, if price pulls back here and I so happen to be on the charts, I so happen to be looking at it, I will get in. Okay, I say so happen because I am actually on I'm actually overseas and traveling right now, so there's a chance that I might miss the trade. But if I so happen to see this, I really might get into this trade. Okay, so then yeah, we'll review this next week. Okay, so ETH USD, let's see. Sell at resistance area but mid probability. Okay, so I did say to sell at resistance area. I did this analysis for you guys last um, Wednesday, right? I took you guys last Wednesday, which is on the 10th. Or did I take you guys last Monday? Okay, anyways, there's an instruction here to sell at the resistance area. Whatever it is, I don't think there's an entry for this. I personally did not get in on this, by the way, because I'm waiting to get in for the buy for Ethereum. I've shared with you guys. If you can do UJ, it'll be great if it's in your program. I was thinking long now, so no obligation to assess. Just want to know if our thoughts are aligned. Yeah, I can definitely do UJ in a bit. Yeah. So sorry, where was I? Okay. Um, Again, if you guys have been following me for a while, I know some of you have been following me for years now. You know that I am a crypto investor. Okay, so I'm not in this Ethereum sell because I'm more looking for Ethereum to bottom out a bit and then I'm going to get in for the buy. I'm not sure when that's happening. That's why I am following Ethereum quite closely and Bitcoin as well. I'm following them quite closely because I think it's at a discount now and I eventually do want to get in to buy and hold the Ethereum. But at this current point of time, when we're talking about like trading, where you're just when you're day trading, especially if you're going in for short term and coming out for short term, let's just see what the opportunities are here. Okay, so I do think we are still on the sell, but let me remove everything. Direction was correct last week. The direction was correct. It's just that the entry did not seem to be good. Okay, so that's why you always have to review your trades every week to see, number one, if you got the direction correct. So seems like I got the direction correct, but the entry could have been better. Okay, so let's see what the bias is this week. I mean, on the long term, I do think cryptocurrency is bullish, right? Like I said, that's why I buy and hold crypto. Okay, but let's see what the short term is saying. So this is long term. I am on the weekly time frame. Okay, let's see. Structurally not giving me anything. I did say in the beginning of the webinar, right? I did say significant touches. If I'm using a trend line, it needs to be 3 significant touches for me to consider it valid. So in this case, I've got 1, 2, no third touch, so I don't consider this a valid trend line. And if I adjust it the other way or whatever other way, it doesn't work. So let's see if a channel works instead. This is very basic trading stuff, right? But it works. It works for me. Okay. I've been using this for a while now and I am still profitable, so I'm happy with that. Okay, the channel's not perfect, obviously, because one, it could be that this move here, if it's trying to do this, it could be that this move here is not complete yet. There's still a bit of downside room for price to move. And two, I'm just it's just forecasting, right? I'm just forecasting. I'm just assuming price is going to do this, but it could very well do this. It could very well do that. But yeah, so based on just assumption, if price were to move within the channel, I think it's going to do that, but it doesn't look like it's a complete move. It could be that it's not a complete move, or it could be that the channel is just not perfect. It could be that it's not a complete move, or this is already a complete move. This is already a complete move, and it's just that the channel is not perfect. Both is valid because, first of all, there is nothing in trading that is always going to be 100%. Okay, so nothing is going to be perfect. That being said, I do think price is moving in an uptrend with the higher highs and higher lows. Okay, let's see the daily. On the daily, price is still moving on a downtrend. Lows, 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 lows. Okay, so I'm just going to go with the daily because on the weekly, I'm gonna say that we are in the pullback phase. Okay, price is just doing a pullback right now, and nothing is suggesting the pullback is over. There's no reason for me to suddenly assume the pullback is over, so I'm just gonna continue believing that we're still in a pullback. Okay, let me pull out some Fibonacci levels actually. Let me pull some Fibonacci levels. I just want to make sure we are not on a key level. Okay. Okay, guys, give me a moment. it really could be that this pullback is over. Okay. It could be that Ethereum is done with the pullback and now it would want to bounce from here, or there's a little bit more room down and we want to test the next level. Okay, so which bias am I going for? Yeah, which bias am I going for? Let me see. Sorry, guys. Do you see how price is moving sideways? For the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 candles, for the last 40 hours, price has just been moving sideways. It's just consolidating. I think the market is also deciding whether it wants to reverse from here or go down lower. This is a 50-50, man. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to go with a buy. Okay, and I will give my reason why I'm going with a buy. Do you trade counter trend during pullback correction phase? I try not to trade counter trend. I am a trend trader, but there are times where if I see the opportunity and it's really good, I will just take it, maybe just for a day trade or a scalping trade, but I really try not to. Okay, I'm going to go with buy. Okay, there is a 50, I think my bias would be 60% a buy and 40% sell. Okay, so morning. So I'm gonna say that this could be one of those trades where it's um, I'm not very confident with the direction, but both ways could work. Okay, either one of the ways could work. Okay, so I will tell you why I'm a bit biased for the buy. So we are now looking at the daily. Let's say we are looking at the weekly. The weekly has actually reached a resistance level, sorry, a support level when we're talking about Fibonacci. So if we pull up Fibonacci right now, you can see price has already touched the 61.8%. Okay, if I pull up Fibonacci projection, I take this part, this point, this second point, and then the next swing high, you can see it also has reached one of a Fibonacci level, which is a 78.6. Okay, although this is not such a common level in Fibonacci projection, but it is still a valid level. Okay, so price has already reached a resistance here, so there is a possibility that it might just want to bounce from here. Okay, but why is it I'm not that confident? Because number one, the next level is here. It could be that price has a little bit of room left and it wants to go back down. And number two, do you guys see this candle here? Do you see these candles? It's like a spinning top, and is it called a spinning bottom? Right? Okay, so we've got these two candles here, which is signaling uncertainty. Okay, if price was really done and price was going to bounce from here, you would see a really strong, you would see a strong candle like this, right? You will see a bit of uncertainty, and then you will see like a strong candle. But in this case, you see there's like rejection. It's like price is having a hard time moving up. So it could be that the momentum is just not there. It could be that price just doesn't want to go up from here. It could be it wants to go up from here instead. Okay, so I won't say it's a 50-50. I'll say I'm a bit more biased with the buy. It's just that there's a good chance. There is also not a low chance that I'm wrong. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna just do my analysis and then I'll come up with my conclusion in a bit. That's why, right, every time I do the checklist, I always tell you guys this is the most important part. Okay, looking for trend is the most important part. Whether price is going up or down is the most important part of my job. If I can find the direction, I would have won half the battle already. Why don't you guys prepare about ICM provide copy trading via ICM social trading so we gain a small tunnel while learning? The traders currently they are not consistent. I've no idea. So if you guys sat through my webinar in the beginning, I did explain that I'm actually from a research firm called Everest Fortune Group, right? So Everest Fortune Group, we focus a lot on like studying, research, forecasting. We also trade on our own, but we just try not to advise people because of we don't want people to come and blame us when it's wrong, right? So it's best for us to teach you guys and then you guys decide for yourself what you want to do with that information, right? But I am basically teaching you things that I myself personally use, right? I'm not just teaching you things for the sake of like doing this 1 hour webinar. I'm really teaching you things that I use every time I trade. Okay, so where was I? Like I said, finding direction is crucial for my style of trading. Every trader trades differently, but for my style of trading, being able to look for direction is super important to me because once I can find the direction of where price is going, I can then find my trade. So right now I'm a little bit biased of price being a buy. I could be wrong, but a little bit biased, first of all, because it's moving this very nice uptrend. Okay, so now that I know that I'm biased that price is on a buy, I now want to look for an entry. Okay, so where do I look for entry? The best bet for me to look for an entry is to use horizontal levels. That means pullbacks, overlaps, swing highs, and swing lows. But when I'm looking at the chart, there are no swing highs, swing lows, there are no pullbacks, there are no overlaps that I can use, right? So I want to use swing lows like this. Okay, but you can see price already broke structure there. If I use this swing low here, then that's too far away from price. So let me pull up Fibonacci levels to see if there are any significant levels that I can use where price currently is right now. One, two, three. Let me see. This could be an over projection. 1.6. Okay, there's a chance price actually might bounce from here. If price doesn't bounce from here, the next place that it bounced could be here. Okay, so here's my final analysis for ETH USD. Yeah, I'll look at AUD USD in a bit. Oh, okay. To also answer your question, Steph Tino, the reason why we also don't give copy trades is because everyone's account is different in size. Everyone's risk appetite is different and everyone's time frame is different and lifestyle is different. So therefore, it is not wise to be copying other people's trade. Anyways, you should be trading on your own. Okay, if you don't want to trade on your own, it's actually better to, I don't know, put your funds in an investment fund or hedge fund or whatever it is. But I really don't recommend copy trading. I really recommend you finding your own style of trading and then doing it yourself once you master it. Okay, so this is just rough way of how I would do this trade. Okay, because I'm not very confident with the direction at this current point of time, I will put this as my buy or sell zone. So if it's either going to be a bounce from where price is right now to the next swing high, okay, which is, I'm not going to aim for the swing high here. I'm going to aim here for the next swing low, okay, to be very conservative. And my stop loss is just going to be here, okay, because if price really reverses from here, then there's a good chance it will touch this, it will avoid my stop loss, and I will be in good profits. Okay, but take note, I think this is a very temporary thing. I think it's just a slight pullback. This looks like a 1 to 3 trade. Okay, 1 to 2.86. Very, very healthy. Very healthy trade. Very healthy. That means that if you have $100,000 account, my advice is only to risk 1% every single time. So 1% will be $1,000. But if you win this trade, you're winning $2,860. Okay, so in the event price breaks out instead, I think it's just going to go to this next level. Okay, so it could be one or the other, but I'm a bit more biased for it being a buy. Okay, it could be a buy or a sell because directionally I'm not very confident with the Okay, we'll come back and review this next week. I've got a question here. Thank you so much for response and advice. At those support levels you mark, would you look for candlestick patterns or enter or set limit orders? Okay, your best form of practice is to look for reversal pattern candlesticks. Right now, price is going sideways, right? Price is going sideways because not only I am confused with the direction, the general market is confused with the direction. That's why there's uncertainty. Okay, there is uncertainty. So there's uncertainty going on. So the best bet right now is to collect as much information as you can. So to collect information, you just look for reversal pattern candlesticks. If a really strong reversal pattern candlestick suddenly appears here, then you know there is a good chance price is going to go up from here. Okay, there's a good chance price is going to go up from here. For me, I don't think this is a high probability setup. It is a mid probability setup because the direction is not very clear. Okay, because the direction is not very clear. Sorry, I was just letting IC markets know that I'm in the middle of the webinar. Okay, so I think it's a mid probability setup. I would really like it if there was more directional bias. Let me pull out some things. Okay. The moving average is saying that it's a buy. So yeah, I'm a bit more biased that it's a buy. Okay, let's not spend too much time on this. I'm gonna move on to the next chart. Yeah, my bias is still buy. It's still a buy, especially now that I've pulled out the moving average. It's still a buy. Okay. Um, Give me a moment. Let me just. Continue. Okay, so next one that you guys are asking is USD JPY, and one more would be AUD USD. Oh, okay. I don't know when. Bias that it's time for reversal to downside, but probably not right now. Okay. I did this analysis a long time ago. Okay, I remember this so much. I did this analysis when price was here, I think. Yeah, I did this analysis when price was here. And I'm just like, I see this red box. I think price is going to go to this red box. Okay, true enough, price is at the red box right now. It hit the sell entry on the dot. And is it going to continue down? I personally think it's going to do this. That's my own personal opinion. Okay, I will get back to this in a bit. Let's spend a bit of time on USD JPY because I've never done USD JPY before. So let me just slowly analyze this. AUD USD, I so remember this. This was done last month and looks like it's working out. Okay, let's start with the weekly. I do need to start weekly. That's how I do my analysis. We are at a resistance right now. Price is. Give me a sec to really look at this. Not really telling much. Could it be time for a reversal or does it want to continue going up? Let's see. On the weekly, it looks like it could be at a resistance. If I pull out the trend line, could be at a resistance already, but okay, at this current point of time, I'm going to say that there's a little bit of room left for price to move up. Okay. I do want to pull out the XY. US dollar currency index to see the XY is dropping. That's why it's currently on a downtrend. It is definitely on a downtrend. Okay. Price is still making higher highs. Price is still making higher highs. And higher lows. I mean, this may not be done, but yeah, it's still making higher highs, higher lows. Because of that, I kind of have no reason, look, even if I go down to the smaller time frames, it hasn't made a lower low yet, right? It hasn't made a lower low yet. So it retested this zone, it failed to break through, and now it's pulling back up. So it could be it's gonna pull back up and then come back the second time to break it, or it could be that it just doesn't want to break and now it's going back up. Okay, so let's see what is the situation. Structurally, trend is not that clear to me. Let me see what indicators are saying. Conflicting. Ichimoku is saying it's a downtrend, but Ichimoku is not working very well anyways. Moving average is saying that it is an uptrend. It is an uptrend, but you can see the gap, right? Momentum is losing. We are still in an uptrend apparently, but it looks like the momentum is decreasing. And also because price has already broke through. Okay, this is really, give me a moment, guys. I'm trying to look for a natural moving average. Nope, not happening. Okay. No matter what I pull, it's not giving me a very clear direction. I'm going to go ahead and say my bias is that it is an uptrend, but it looks like it's losing momentum. Okay, I think overall we are on an uptrend. It's just that it looks like it's losing volatility and momentum here with the uptrend. So my best bet for USD JPY is still to enter for buy. Okay, that's all I can give you guys. I'm a little bit more biased for it being a buy. Let me see who requested for this one. Hey John, I'm sorry, I don't know what your directional bias is, but my directional bias for USD JPY is still it's a buy. It's just that I see weakness. It's like it's a buy, but it's no longer a strong buy. Okay, because you can see that price was moving clearly in an uptrend, and now it's starting to lose momentum a bit. It even failed to make a higher high here, right? It's failing to make a higher high. So it could even be a downtrend actually. It made a higher high. It's losing momentum, that's really for sure. Buy on 4 hours. Yeah. Okay, so that's just my direction bias. Sorry, I cannot come up with an analysis for this because I think it's a very, very, very weak uptrend. It's so weak that it could even, yeah, it looks like it's a very weak uptrend. That's my bias on USD JPY. I'm not going to do analysis for this because I'll be very honest with you guys. USD JPY is not a pair that my analysis works on. So this analysis, this cheat sheet checklist does not work for all pairs. It does not work for all pairs. It is the same for any form of technical analysis. It is the same of any kind of trading. Nothing works on everything. Okay, this one I have tried many times on EUR, USD. It works on EUR, USD. I've tried it on gold. I've tried it on Ethereum. It works. Okay, but USD JPY, I've tried it a few times. Sometimes I get good trades, sometimes I don't, so not the best strategy. Okay, I'm gonna move on to AUD JPY. I think I'm still gonna stick with this analysis. I remember why I did this because on the weekly time frame, you can see that price is already reaching a resistance. So obviously, okay, you can see that price is reaching a resistance here. Obviously, nothing is going to be perfect in trading, but as a guide, I think this is a resistance. I remember this so clearly because I said if this works out, we're talking about a 1 to 10 trade. Yeah, there. It's a 1 to 10 trade. I remember this so clearly. If this works out. So, I mean, it has already gone 1 to 3, which is still a really good trade. But I think the potential for this could be here. Okay, so I think for AUD USD, it is time for a pullback. Do I think it's gonna go higher? Yes, maybe in the future. Maybe in the future it might go higher, but at this current point of time, I think it's time for a pullback. Okay, I personally think it's time for a pullback. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys this week. I will catch you guys next week. Okay, take care, guys. See you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Let me do a recap of what we did. USD JPY, directionally, I think it's not very clear, but I think it's a buy. I think it's uptrend. Actually, I think it's an uptrend, but it could be it's due for a pullback. I think USD JPY is on an uptrend for sure. It could just be that right now or soon it's time for a pullback. Okay, so you guys know that price is always moving in a zigzag, right? The zigzag is a pullback, so this is where the pullback happens. Okay, I just think that this could be the pullback, right? So price is moving up, the pullback, and then it continues up again. But right now it's just, especially on the short term, yeah, sorry, the more I look at it, the more I'm biased of it being bearish. Okay, weak bias for a buy. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Take care. Okay, bye.